He is known for being a prolific writer, philosopher, and scientist in Germany. He is recognized for his profound influence on Western literary, political, and philosophical thought. He is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. In the small town of Weimar, Germany, lived a man whose influence would extend far beyond the boundaries of his homeland. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a polymath of extraordinary talent, was not simply a poet, playwright, and novelist, but also a scientist, statesman, and critic. His work spanned a wide range of subjects, from literature to botany, anatomy to aesthetic criticism. It was this diversity of knowledge and experience that made Goethe a true Renaissance man. Goethe's impact on the literary world was undeniable. His novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther, catapulted him to fame and acclaim. But his contributions extended far beyond the realm of literature. Goethe's scientific endeavors, such as his groundbreaking work on plant metamorphosis, showcased his insatiable curiosity and thirst for knowledge. He was not content to be confined to one domain, he sought to explore the intricacies of the natural world and unravel its mysteries. But perhaps what truly set Goethe apart was his ability to bridge the gap between art and philosophy. He believed that beauty and truth were intertwined, and that through art, one could attain a deeper understanding of the world. Goethe's friendship with fellow philosopher Friedrich Schiller further cemented his belief in the power of art to illuminate the human condition. Their collaborations and shared undertakings formed the foundation of what would later be known as Weimar classicism. As Goethe's fame grew, so too did his influence. His words resonated with philosophers and thinkers across the globe. Arthur Schopenhauer hailed his novel, Wilhelm Meister's Apprenticeship, as one of the greatest ever written. And even across the Atlantic, Ralph Waldo Emerson recognized Goethe as one of the representative men of his time. Goethe's ideas and observations were immortalized in biographical works, such as Johann Peter Eckermann's Conversations with Goethe, and his poems were set to music by some of history's greatest composers. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a man whose life defied categorization, left an indelible mark on the world. His quest for knowledge, his exploration of the human condition, and his belief in the power of art continue to inspire generations. Goethe's legacy stands as a testament to the enduring connection between literature, philosophy, and the pursuit of truth. Goethe's early life was filled with a sense of destiny, as he believed that his life would recur in exactly the same fashion. Born into a family of privilege in the free imperial city of Frankfurt, Goethe's father, Johann Caspar Goethe, was a respected imperial counselor. Despite his own unfulfilled ambitions, Johann Caspar was determined to provide his children with all the advantages he had missed out on. Under the guidance of his father and private tutors, Goethe received a comprehensive education that included languages, dancing, writing, and fencing. While he initially had a passion for drawing, it was literature that captured his heart. He found solace and inspiration in the works of Friedrich Gottlieb Klopstock and Homer, and his love for the theater was nurtured by the annual puppet shows arranged in his home. But Goethe's thirst for knowledge extended beyond literature and theater. He delved into works on history and religion, seeking a deeper understanding of the world and his place in it. This period of exploration laid the foundation for his later philosophical and spiritual pursuits. During this time, Goethe also formed connections with actors from the Frankfurt theater scene. He developed an infatuation with Gretchen, a character who would later reappear in his famous work, Faust. Additionally, he found a deep connection with Caritas Meixner, a friend of his sister who would go on to marry a wealthy merchant. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, known for his literary genius, had a lesser-known chapter in his life as a law student. Studying at Leipzig University from 1765 to 1768, Goethe found himself disinterested in memorizing old legal rules. Instead, he was drawn to the lessons of Christian Furchtgott Gellert, a poet and professor at the university. It was during this time that Goethe fell in love with Anna Katharina Schönkopf, the daughter of a craftsman and innkeeper. He wrote joyful verses about her in the Rococo genre and even released his first collection of poems, Annette, anonymously in 1770. Goethe's admiration for contemporary poets waned as he became more interested in the works of Gotthold Ephraim Lessing and Christoph Martin Wieland. Despite having written extensively during this period, Goethe discarded most of his works, except for the comedy, Die Mitschuldigen. A visit to the renowned restaurant Auerbach's Keller left a lasting impression on him, inspiring the inclusion of this place and the legend of Johann George Faust's barrel ride in his closet drama, Faust Part 1. However, Goethe's studies did not progress as he had hoped, and he was forced to return to Frankfurt in August 1768. Upon his return, Goethe fell seriously ill, straining his relationship with his father. During his convalescence, he was cared for by his mother and sister. In April 1770, Goethe left Frankfurt to continue his studies at the University of Strasbourg, where he thrived. The warm and wide Rhine area captured his affection like no other landscape. It was in Strasbourg that Goethe encountered Johann Gottfried Herder, who became his close friend and had a significant impact on his intellectual development. Herder ignited Goethe's interest in William Shakespeare, Ossian, and the concept of Volkspoesie, folk poetry. In fact, Goethe held a gathering in his parental home on October 14, 1772 to celebrate the first German Shakespeare Day, marking his personal awakening in literature. During a trip to the village of Sessenheim, Goethe fell in love with Friedrich Bryan in October 1770. However, their relationship came to an end in August 1771. Several of Goethe's poems, including Willkommen und die Abschied, Sessenheimer Lieder, and Heidenros Lane, originated from this period. In August 1771, Goethe obtained his law degree from Strasbourg and established a small legal practice in Frankfurt. Despite his ambition to bring more humanity to jurisprudence, his inexperience led him to mishandle his first cases, resulting in reprimands and further losses. This marked the premature end of his career as a lawyer after only a few months. However, Goethe's inventiveness and literary ambitions were praised by the court of Darmstadt, where he had connections. It was during this time that he met Johann Georg Schlosser and Johann Heinrich Merck. Goethe's father even supported his literary pursuits, and he began working on a drama based on the biography of a noble highwayman from the German Peasants' War. This work, titled Gotts von Berlichingen, resonated deeply with Goethe's contemporaries. Despite his literary successes, Goethe found it challenging to sustain himself solely as an editor of a literary periodical. In May 1772, he returned to the practice of law in Wetzlar. It was during this time that he wrote the book that would bring him worldwide fame, The Sorrows of Young Werther. Drawing inspiration from his own experiences in Wetzlar, including his interactions with Charlotte Buff and her fiancé Johann Christian Kessner, as well as the tragic suicide of his friend Karl Wilhelm Jerusalem, Goethe poured his heart into this work. Although The Sorrows of Young Werther achieved immense success, it did not bring Goethe significant financial gain due to the limited copyright laws of the time. Goethe's foray into the legal world may have been short-lived, but it played a crucial role in shaping his perspective and experiences. His time studying law and practicing as a lawyer exposed him to different facets of society, which would later find expression in his literary works. Despite his detour from the legal path, Goethe's journey as a philosopher and writer would continue to captivate audiences for generations to come. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, famous for his novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther, was invited to the court of Karl August, Duke of Saxe-Weimar-Eisenach, in 1775. The court was known for its patronage of the arts, thanks to the Duke's mother, Duchess Anna Amalia. Goethe settled in Weimar, where he held various positions, including superintendent of the ducal library, and became a trusted friend and advisor to the Duke. During his time in Weimar, Goethe formed a deep connection with Charlotte von Stein, a married woman. Their bond lasted for a decade, but Goethe abruptly left for Italy without informing Charlotte. This departure left her heartbroken, but they eventually reconciled. Aside from his official duties, Goethe also became a close confidant of Duke Karl August and actively participated in the court's activities. He took on the War Commission and other important roles, even acting as the duchy's Chancellor of the Exchequer, essentially making him the Prime Minister and the main representative of the duchy. Goethe was even ennobled in 1782, receiving a title of nobility. As the head of the Saxe-Weimar War Commission, Goethe played a role in recruiting mercenaries for the Prussian and British military during the American Revolution. Some sources claim that he also negotiated the forced sale of vagabonds, criminals, and political dissidents as part of these activities. Goethe's time in Weimar allowed him to gather a vast range of experiences and connections. His involvement in various roles and his close relationship with Duke Karl August shaped his understanding of politics, society, and human nature. These experiences would greatly influence his philosophical and literary works, making Goethe a significant figure not only in German literature but also in European thought.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.